Hello. Today I'm going to tell you all about my day off. So, I decided after recording my previous update video, I would give my cats some fresh water to drink, and then I decided to heat up the oven for the last of the homemade cookie dough batter that my mom made. I greeted my mom and our family friend. My mom needed to go to work all day today, and due to my lack of sleep, I decided to go to bed. And I slept from 8 all the way to 1. So that's pretty much like 5 hours of sleep. When I got up, our family friend decided to return home with with an acquaintance, and then the acquaintance was just stopping by, say hello, then left, and our family friend was going to wait for someone else to take her. I greeted both the acquaintance and our family friend, and afterwards, I decided to make the cookie dough batter and put it in the oven. Then our family friend left. My sister woke up. I greeted her, put the cookies in the oven for 350 degrees for 12 minutes, and then I decided to make an offer to my sister, ask her if she'd be interested in watching a alien film called Jules, which I found out about simply just having these random videos recommended to me on YouTube, and one of them was alien walking around in public. And I found this alien walking in public. I was like, oh my gosh, it actually looks genuinely kind of realistic and a little creepy. And it actually had me going for a second. But then I looked through the comments, and some people were also kind of tricked too. So we're like, oh my gosh, they're doing soft disclosure by slowly revealing the being. This is insane. But then one of the people who watched the video commented, "Oh man, oh no, it's not the actor who played the alien in the movie Jules, just walking around in the makeup as sort of a promotion for the movie. That would make too much sense." And I was like, "Oh, movie called Jules? Let me look into this." So I typed the movie's trailer onto YouTube, and sure enough, that alien that was walking around in public in that YouTube Shorts video that was recommended to me was pretty much dead on the exact same alien in the Jules movie trailer, which pretty much confirms that yes, this being was simply just an actor doing some promotion for the film. But it did have me going for a second because of how convincing the makeup looked. Um, but I was like, oh, this film, the makeup was so good, and the clip I saw, which was a lady who was shocked by the alien in the old man's house, the old man being played by Ben Kingsley in a really great role where he's able to really seep into character. And the old man's completely casual about the alien he's letting into his house, but the woman is just completely shocked at this whole revelation kind of thing. And that little teaser, as well as simply just the makeup looking really good, made me go, I kind of want to see this. So I decided I wanted to watch it, but I offered my sister if she'd be interested in watching the film too. She said yes. So I tuned up the film on the TV. It was for free on Tubi, and I got some coffee brewed. My sister brewed the coffee for me, and we had some cookies, and we watched this film, and I really liked it. I thought it was a really nice film. Um, we actually watched it in segments. So when I say that, Like the first 40 minutes we watched, then we paused, and then we wanted to go get some pizza. So we got some pizza, these really big slices that were chopped into little bits that we could eat. Um, that me and my sister split equally. In fact, we actually were a few dollars short, but the guy who was selling the pizza to us was a real bro and decided to pay for the rest for us when we were like about like $5 short. So yeah, that was really nice. I really appreciate it when people show that consideration and kindness. It's very cool. Um, I got a pizza with bacon bits, pepperoni, olives, jalapeno, and mushrooms. And I will say that, I mean, it was decent. I did like it overall mostly. I don't know. For a pizza, what I'm looking for is a slight crispy crust and a nice, soft, fluffy, airy, like donut texture, like bread, where it tastes fresh. It's like kind of like a white, puffy cloud with a nice, crisp crust edge. So that's the kind of crust I like in my pizza. Um, and where it's cooked to the point where it's like just well done enough to where it's not all gooey and undercooked, but it's also not overcooked and overly crunchy. Like it's in that perfect center. Like, and this one I feel like it was a little too overly crunchy. On top of that, like another thing that's important for me for a great pizza is the sauce. You know, a lot of people say a sauce is the boss, but the problem with this pizza was that the sauce just was okay. It wasn't like offensive, but it wasn't really doing anything more than what it needed to. It was kind of just decided to clock in for the day and do its thing and then clock out, if that makes sense. It wasn't in love with its job. Um, and the toppings were inoffensive as well, but that's another thing I look for in a pizza. Toppings. I like it when the toppings are packed with flavor and taste like they were freshly made in the restaurant. Um, those are the best toppings. That's why I love this restaurant that sadly burned down a long time ago called Pizza Mania. They always used what tasted like the freshest toppings and the most flavorful, well seasoned pizza sauce ever. Like, I don't know what they do with their pizza sauce. Maybe they put like lard in it or something. Whatever they did, they made it so good that I honestly have never came to another pizza place that has made something as great as what that pizza place did. Like that place, it was the GOAT. And honestly, it's a tall act to follow because it's been gone for a while. Luckily, though, it seems to eventually be coming back soon, hopefully. But every pizza place I've tried doesn't hold a candle. And this one is part of that list. It just, it's fine, but nothing really more than that. And we got, what do you call that? Ranch dressing with the pizza. And the ranch dressing was really watery for some reason. I honestly don't know why. I mean, isn't ranch dressing supposed to be creamy? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be creamy. So the fact it wasn't, and it was all like a more wet texture was just crazy to me. Um, yeah. And we had some Pepsi, Diet Pepsi to go along with it that we actually already had at the house that we simply just took out. When we arrived back at home, our family friend was there. We decided to offer our pizza to her. She accepted the offer. And then she decided to go in and watch what we were watching. And we continued watching the film all the way up until the certain point where we decided to take a little productivity break and clean the house for 10 minutes. And when that was over, where I vacuumed the floor and my sister wiped down the kitchen counters and loaded the dishwasher, we finished watching the movie, Jules. And overall, this movie, after we were done watching it, was very good. I really liked it, actually. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was very heartfelt. I thought it was very charming. I really enjoyed the whole dynamic of a extraterrestrial beings interaction with some of the a small town's like older folks who have like all kind of lived their lives in their in their golden years, and they're like interacting with something that's just unbelievable, and having to come to terms with that is a really fascinating thing to witness. And each of the characters in the film deal with the fact that there is an extraterrestrial among them in a really unique and interesting way that really shows each of their characters and makes them really fun to watch and interesting to see how they play off each other. And it's a really charming movie for that reason. Um, And really, I mean, that's pretty much what it's about. It's just this guy who's older, who lives by himself. His daughter is very concerned about him eventually getting Alzheimer's and losing his ability to be in touch with, reality. And he values his independence, so he doesn't really like that. He feels like his daughter's trying to control his life. And then this spaceship crash lands in his house, and he's extremely casual about it. He like treats it like, oh, just another day at the office, instead of going, holy cow, there's an alien, there's a spaceship, I'm gonna call the military. He doesn't do none of that. He's just like, oh, guess this is an alien in my backyard now. Cool. And then little by little, two of the older folks, two older ladies find out, and they're fascinated by the being, and they want to know more about like what he can do, his intentions, why he's there. But the being never speaks at all throughout the film. Instead, it simply just listens and gives off good energy, and has the ability of clairvoyance and seeing things happening to people that the being enjoys very much so. And um, the being does have the ability to protect and whatnot. So, yeah, uh, it is a very good film. One thing that was really funny and weird about it was that apparently, in order for the alien to get his spaceship to run, he needed like the bodies of like I think 9 cats for some reason. I have no idea why. But at the end of the film, one of the older ladies like has like a pet cat that's like about to die anyways, but she doesn't want to give the cat up. She eventually decides to do it for the good of the alien being. And then the cat's put inside all 6 or 9 cat bodies are put under a metal blanket that morphs them into like a round crystal the being puts into its spaceship that's able to power and charge the spaceship to keep it going. Such a weird sentence when you say it out loud. Dead cat bodies powering an alien spaceship by being covered by a metal blanket and then being transformed into a crystal to be put into the bottom of the craft. Like, I feel like I'm like taking crazy pills just describing that. But that's what happens, and it's really really weird. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the film is about these characters and them coming to terms with this being, but also their own lives as well. And I really enjoyed it on many of those fronts. It was a really cozy movie. It was really comforting film, and I really liked it. Well, after we were done watching it, um, I remember my sister saw a thumbnail for a movie called. Um, this is the name of the movie. It was on Tubi. I'm just repeating what was on there. Blacks and UFOs. That was the name of the movie. Um, and we were like, "What the heck is that?" So we decided to tune into that and watch a bit of it. And this film is about like a group of like people in their like mid to late 20s, early 30s who all like congregate in this little like like area where they're being taught about like the nature of reality and like matter and like substance and stuff. And then there's like two people who like meditate and use crystals to get in touch with their like spiritual world. And then they all decide to meditate together in a group and they summon like a craft. And apparently all this is based on like real events. And they even do a thing where they intersperse like, you know, people recounting what happened in the story to the camera, and then they cut to the adaptation of what people saw in the film. But they don't really have the interviews pop up until like a few minutes after like the actual like, you know, adaptation of the story happens. So it kind of catches you off guard and makes you go, wait a minute, I thought this was like a movie, but I guess it's like a half movie, half documentary hybrid. Interesting. Haven't really seen that before. And we were actually pretty intrigued by it. But then my sister needed to pick up crickets for her pet spider. She asked if it'd be all right if we could go in my car. I said, sure, but could you drive? And she was like, sure. So we both left in the car. We went to a pet store to get the crickets. And then when we got the crickets, we were just walking around and looking at different pet animals in the store, from cats to fish. Like the most interesting thing was the fact that there was like a fish that was like lying on the floor of the on the fish